You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. You're here to slay her. If you don't, while I appreciate the mental exercise, we are running up against a bit of a ticking clock. Nevertheless, let me assure you, the princess is locked up because she's dangerous. And before you decide to waste even more of our time by asking how I know that, let me suggest a more pragmatic lens. The causality doesn't matter here, because the end result is the same no matter what led us up to this point. If the princess leaves the cabin, the world will end. It's no use arguing semantics over a metaphorical chicken or egg, because the egg is hatched and it's about to ruin everything. Unless, of course, you do your job and slay her. I'm talking about the end of everything as we know it. No more birds, no more trees. She's not dangerous. She's just a princess. The danger comes if she gets out. Which she will, unless you do something about it. Look, you're already on the path that leads to the cabin. Why would you be here if it weren't to complete a very important task? The more specifics you have, the harder it will be for you to do this very important job. She's a princess. People will listen to her, because listening to her is in their nature. Does it? Are you a monarchist? Is slaying a princess that much worse than slaying a fisherman or a miller or a seamstress? If anything, slaying a princess is much better than slaying a seamstress. Seamstresses contribute something of value to society. Of course I haven't. Why would I even consider that? Nobody wants the world to end. I mean, maybe some people do. Then I guess we'll just have to see what happens. But a word of warning. If you go in prepared to hear her out, she could easily trap you in her web of lies. Then each and every one of us is doomed. So sure, go. Talk to her. See how that turns out for all of us. You make your way up the short path to the cabin.
We're not going to go through with this, right? She's a princess. We're supposed to save princesses, not slay them.
Ignore him. He doesn't know what he's talking about. The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer of dust. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right. You take the blade from the table. It'd be rather difficult to slay the princess and save the world without it. The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. Her voice carries up the stairs.
Who's there?
It's commanding. Almost as though she's the one in charge down here.
Don't let it fool you.
Oh? It's been so long since anyone's come down here. I was starting to think they'd forgotten about me.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess.
She's so coldly beautiful.
Focus on the task at hand.
Are you here to kill me or something? How about you drop the knife and the two of us just talk?
Look how reasonable she's being. Don't you dare. It's fine. We can decide what we want to do after we talk to her.
You ignore the trembling in your hands and tighten your grip on the blade.
Poor thing. Your hands are shaking. Are you scared of me? Because
You step forward, your grip on the blade tightening as you steel your resolve.
I'm probably chained up in this basement for a reason, right? And if that knife is the only weapon you have, you'll have to get close enough to use it. So, you should just drop it. Best not to risk finding out what I can do.
Do you hear the conviction in her voice? Do you see the razor sharpness in her gaze? She's unarmed. If you hesitate now, it'll be too late. I'm positive. I'm not. But we'll keep our eyes peeled.
Hesitating. Why don't you drop the knife and the two of us can be civilized with each other?
You charge the princess, blade in hand, but unfortunately your earlier suspicions proved correct. A blade of her own slips down her sleeve and catches. Blood sprays from the cut, your severed carotid artery painting the princess with strokes of red. With the last bit of your will, you press forward, sinking the blade deep into...
Oh.
The two of you collapse on the floor together.
Somehow, I thought this would turn out a little differently. But I wonder... Do you...
There it is again. That razor-sharp look in her eyes. But you don't have the time to worry over such things. Everything goes black. You're on a path. You're here to... A terrible sense of deja vu. No, you don't have that. This is the first time either. If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's... There's nothing we can do to stop her. She's going to kill us. Oh, is there another one of us in? If you go to the cabin, you might as well. You are never going to slay her with that attitude. Stuff that pathetic little voice to the back of your mind. I have one last warning for you. She will lie, she will cheat, and it's not her lies that'll stop us. I must admit, I'm a little worried about going back in there. I don't want to be as much of a doubt. Ignore them, they don't know what they're talking about. The blade is your implement. Her fierce voice.
Who's there?
Somehow even fierce. Of course it. Don't let it intimidate. You're playing a dangerous game by coming down. Why even bother with the knife? You carefully make your way down the stairs. As you descend the final step, the form of the princess comes into view. Is it just me, or is she bigger than last time? I told you.
I was wondering when I might have company. Free me from my bindings.